Coming up on this episode of the Spiro Podcast.
Change is not usually ever easy, but change is good. And I think change is needed for growth and for progress. But when you have change, you just need to be aware of some of the people that might be negatively impacted by the change.
Welcome to the Spiro Podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. With your hosts, Todd Kivimaki and Craig Magro.
Hi, and welcome to the Spiro Podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. Spiro is a software platform. It's designed to help you manage your day-to-day real estate media business, but ultimately really to help you grow and scale as well and give you a solution to make things easier for you. I'm Craig Magrum, host of the podcast. Welcome to it. If you're a brand new listener, the whole purpose behind this podcast is really to help you build a strong business. Lots of great resources out there on the creative side and equipment side and all of that good stuff that we love as creatives and techies. But we really want to focus in on the business side of things and help you build a strong business. Our co-host, Spiro founder and owner, Todd Kivimaki. Welcome back to another week, Todd.
Craig, it's a great week. This month is flying by.
Oh, yeah.
I know you all are getting busier out there. And if you're not, don't feel the pressure. It's going to come. Just keep doing the routine, keep doing the business. But we've heard from a lot of you this week, a lot more than normal. We normally hear from a lot of you, but that's exciting. Please keep the communication coming. Mm-hmm. And also feel free to continue this conversation on our Spiro Super User Facebook group. We had a great question from a user that said, hey, can I post a business related question in here? That is the Spiro Super User group. You get a lot of technical questions, or can it do this? Or could we add this in the future? But I said, sure, let's post those business questions in there. And we have got a great, vibrant community in there. And so if you want to continue a conversation or talk about a point that you hear on the podcast or somewhere else, feel free. You can post it in there. Again, that group is the Spiro Super User Facebook group. You have to ask for access to it, and then just enter in the email that you use to log into Spiro. If you don't have a Spiro account, it's free to sign up, spiro.media, sign up, grab an account, and you'll be off to the races.
There you go. Pretty simple. You can also leave comments and business questions about running a business on our YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube right now, feel free to leave a comment, or you can email us. If you're listening, you can just email hello@spiro.media. So multiple ways to get a hold of us. We try and keep up with everything. But yeah, you're not kidding, Todd. It's been a busy week. All of a sudden, it's like the spring market floodgates opened.
Yes.
And I drained half a tank of gas in one day. I swear my appointments were from one end of my territory to another. It was fun. It's like, all right, let's roll. It's time to get busy.
It's time to do it. Yeah. And your car gets good gas mileage too. So that's a lot of miles.
Decent. It's decent. It's not a hybrid, but I got an Accord on purpose, an Accord Sport, just for a little bit of fun because I work out of my car. But yeah, I like my car.
I like your car too. Yeah.
It's the second Accord Sport I bought.
Yes.
There's a whole story.
We won't go back to the reason why
you
bought another one,
right.
But yeah, that's right. That. But, and then you'll get the bike out soon too. So, I mean, it's not right. I'm looking outside. It's cold. Oh,
Todd,
go ahead.
I got the bike out earlier this week. I did a short ride after work, and I felt good. I came back with a smile on my face. My wife's like, "You're happy, aren't you?" I'm like, "That's my therapy right there." Taking a quick ride on the motorcycle. Yeah, that's therapy.
Somebody sent me, I remember seeing somebody send me these pictures, and I forget, I don't know if it was a meme or just a flip book, but the wife posted pictures of her with her husband. Mm-hmm. And in every picture, the husband's expression is just flat.
Okay.
Just flat, just like not unhappy, but not like happy.
Right.
And she's like, then she posts pictures of her husband after he's caught a fish. And he is like over the moon, like the biggest smile. He's like fist pumping in one of them. He's got this pike. He's got all kinds of fish, and he is like the happiest ever. And she's like, why is his expression like so flat with me, but look when he goes fishing. So it just kind of triggered my memory. And you walk in and Gail's like, oh, you're in a good mood now.
Well, I've got the best of both worlds because she likes to ride with me. My wife is not against me riding motorcycle, although I did get an email from my mom probably about a month ago, just an article about somebody that, unfortunately, I shouldn't laugh because it is unfortunate, but somebody that was injured in a motorcycle accident. And I realize that it is a more dangerous mode of transportation.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to ride very defensively, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm sure it is. Sure it is.
All right. Well, we got stuff to talk about. Enough of my motorcycle adventures, although I might do a video someday.
Please do, Craig. Yes.
That might be fun. All right. Let's dive into things. Kind of a unique episode this week. We're going to be talking about some Spiro updates and some listener feedback. We've got, like Todd said, we've gotten some good feedback, quite a bit of interaction this week. And we're going to be talking about AI editing and how that impacts our business, because we're seeing a lot more chatter about that, in the various Facebook groups. So we thought that might be something good to talk about this week. So that being said, you want to dive into Spiro updates first here?
Well, actually, real just quick here, I want to let you guys know that we have made a conclusion on what we feel as though is the choice for AI photo editing. We're going to talk more about it. We've been working on it in Spiro. It's not a Spiro product, but we've been working to integrate it very closely with those owners, those developers, and we want to make it simple for you in Spiro. Kind of the cool thing is that we will streamline this for you. So I know many of you might not have a task set up in Spiro, but once you integrate this product into Spiro, and it's free to try, free to use, free to integrate. Okay, you'll pay for your usage, and we'll get into that in a little bit. It's probably cheaper than you're paying your human editors right now. But we have streamlined that process for you and want to make it simple for you. So we're going to go into more of that. But I just personally, myself and Jess, our director of operations at WOW, we've been looking at AI editing for years. Literally years. We thought about developing something 2 years ago. That was when we were going, when Spiro was just we were in the very early development stages of the refactor of Spiro when we created it again. Maybe that was 3 years ago. My memory's not too great. But anyways, we decided we wanted to focus on the software of Spiro, and we would see what the industry would do with AI editing. And so we've tested everything that's out there. We've talked to everyone. We've looked at everything. We've looked at trying to do it ourselves. And I'm super excited about the company that we are suggesting, that we've integrated with, and that you'll be able to use. Values align and all those things. So we're going to go into a little more detail, but and we're going to talk about the different aspects of it, because AI just is a big thing in the industry, in the world right now, because AI is going to help streamline some of your processes. You'll probably save some money on this. You'll have quicker turnaround, but you got photo editors that you might have a relationship. Like, what do you do with them? And it's like, we're humans, human to human. So we're going to get into that, but I am excited to announce that we've been looking at this for a long time. The team at WOW is excited. We're going to use it. So, so we will dive into those topics. But first, I think we're going to put that on hold, and we're going to go into Spiro updates, I believe, Craig.
Yeah. So a lot rolling out that has just rolled out and will continue to. So what's going on?
Yeah, so this update is a big one. Let me pull my list over here. Now, you'll be able to see this in the release notes. I'll put a little bubble in your Spiro system. Also in the knowledge base, you can search for the updates and you can read all this here. But we have some things as far as landing pages. So you're going to be able to build a landing page and advertise multiple order pages on it. Make it your colors, make it your brand. All of that stuff. So that is done. We're excited about that update. Craig, what that's going to allow users to do is they'll be able to create a page where they can advertise their residential order page, their commercial, short-term rentals, headshots, lifestyle photos, whatever it may be. And that's just going to be a nice spot for your clients to start so that they can get to the correct order page. Along with that, we gave you some new assignment types for order pages. So we used to just have public and private, and now you have a few more as to where you can say it's a default order page, which means anybody can use it. that's what's going to go on a landing page. You can make it an assigned only. This is more like your broker deal or your special deal where it has to be assigned to a user. And then Craig, we did one more thing based on user feedback, is that we did a new client only assignment type. So the system will detect if this client has ever placed an order. If they have not, and they have your link, you're going to advertise that for them. Like, hey, use this link for your first order. You can advertise whatever you want. Many of you are doing a free shoot, a 50% off shoot, or you have a special defined order page. And there's not really an assignment type that fits that perfectly right now. And this new update will allow you to fine tune that process.
Nice flexibility.
It is. And especially when clients are new, we want to make them feel very at home and make it feel custom to them. So when you're building out your new client order page, use different verbiage in the bundle name. Write descriptions that maybe a new client doesn't know. Make sure you can attach custom questions that are only asked to new clients. I talked to someone the other day on a coaching call, and they asked about their new luxury video edit is taking 2 days to turn around. And there was some confusion about expectations from their clients. And you can do that with a custom question. That's a little bit different than a new client, but you could attach a question to a new client that sets expectations or tells them or say, hey, do you want an onboarding call? We'll be happy to call you to tell you about how you can use this media. So you can do some fun things there just to set proper expectations and give clear communication.
Excellent.
I'm going to fly through the rest of the list because we've got some listener feedback. We want to mention some users. So let's get to this quickly. You'll be able to delete many of the records that you used to not be able to delete, i.e. photographers, editors, service categories, service areas. You'll be able to clean up your system. Craig, it's a perfect time. It's spring cleaning. Clean up your Spiro system, get the old user types out of there.
There you go.
And then two more quick things. The first one is very quick. For our international users, all of the other pages that you wanted translated, that is the invoices and the company portal, that will be done. So it will be in the language that you choose or the language that your user selects if you're using multiple languages, which is cool. And then finally, the best one, for me, I think it's great. We're going to help you sell better on the order page. So on your bundles, you can load more media. You can put a GIF in there. You can put a video in there. Craig, we know that our clients don't really know everything we do. And we all create great videos. There's some fabulous videos out there. I've been watching them. You guys are creating some really masterpieces of videos. And when a client gets to an order page, if you're selling that video, they should see it play. Right now, you can only put one photo on a bundle. After this update, which is going to be Monday, March 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, March 10th, you will be able to load more photos. They can cycle through the photos. You'll be able to put a video or a GIF. We've also streamlined the way that services show. So more than 3 at a time will show. We're allowing you to put a tag. That could be like save 50%, bestseller, tag to the client. And then you're going to get different sizes of bundle cards. Right now, the card that shows will be what we call small. You'll get a medium card too. So if you want to draw attention to a particular bundle, make it bigger. It will stand out on the page. Maybe you'll sell more of it. I think you'll sell more of it. But we're doing all of these e-commerce-y things to help you guys look better. It's a fabulous facelift to the order page, and it will give you just ways that you can bring it to life with all of the beautiful media that you produce.
That's incredible. And e-commerce that's important. There's reasons behind everything that you do on a website, and especially an e-commerce type site. I actually worked in e-commerce for a couple of years, and I still remember the thing they pounded into our head is get people to the information they need and want in as few clicks as possible. Make it simple.
Yes.
Because you want to retain them on that page. You don't want them bouncing. So we're doing our best to help you retain those that are coming to your ordering site through Spiro. So Great updates, Todd. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're excited about that. And a huge shout out to all of our users and our supporters, our fans. Yeah. These come from you all. You ask us about them. You leave them on the feedback board. You can get to the feedback board inside of Spiro. Look in the upper right-hand corner for the toggle that says feedback. Leave them on there, upvote them. But these come from you. We want this to feel like your system. We are you, remember. We own and run a real estate media company. So thank you for the feedback. I mean, we wouldn't be here without you guys.
For sure. And speaking of listener feedback,
yes,
we've got some good feedback that came in this week that we want to highlight. We
do. So so shout out to Gregory W. He asked about, he is getting his business off the ground, I believe. And I'm actually, Craig, I'm not sure of the status of the business. So Gregory, if you got an established business, sorry. I don't know the size of Gregory's business, but he did have a question. It's like, how do I get more of my clients to order from the order page? They like to call me, they like to text me, which is normal. They will like to do that. But what we suggest is that you create a video of yourself placing an order, talking about how to use the system, how to log in, how they don't have to have a new password. It's just a PIN code to their cell phone. It's super simple. So what I did is I created a video as the owner of WOW, our media company, to WOW clients. But this is an example of what you guys can create. So if you're like, hey, I know what to do, great. If you want some inspiration as to what we would send to our clients, go to the knowledge base and search for how to place an order. And I think I've titled it like, create this video. I've done a video there speaking to realtors. So it's great for you guys to do this. We could do a general Spiro video, but the problem is now it would be me in the video, or it would be a voiceover, and it wouldn't be your order page. It wouldn't be your colors, your branding. It wouldn't be you. I think the power of this is the connection that you build with your clients. So get Loom, get a video recording software, do a 2-minute video, and then put it in your knowledge base, put it on your website, put it in your Instagram, put it in your email signature, send it out in your newsletter, put it everywhere and say, hey, here's how to place an order. And then keep creating those. And what you've done is you've essentially begun to multiply yourself, because anyone who has that question, they can self-serve at any time of the day, and they don't need you. And then they have a better understanding. And all at the same time, they know you after the video. They're familiar. They hear your voice. So yeah, thank you, Gregory, for that suggestion. That video is live on the knowledge base for Spiro. If you're like, hey, where's the knowledge base? Log into Spiro, upper right-hand corner, click the question mark bubble.
Absolutely. It's all about relationships. That's if we had one theme on this podcast, Todd, I would say the importance of relationships in building business.
Oh, we should almost rename the podcast, Craig.
Should we take listener suggestions, make it a contest? I bet we'd get some really creative titles. Yeah.
As you all can tell, I mean, you know us, we don't name things very well. We call it the Spiro podcast. So just like we had the scheduler called the scheduler, but
KISS.
Hey,
keep it simple, stupid.
Oh, exactly. Yes. I agree.
Anyway.
Hey, I also wanted to mention Jacob. So Jacob Way, sorry if you don't want me to say your last name. I don't think you'll care. I know Jacob pretty well, but Jacob sent me a quick note. He had just hired his first photographer. His business is growing like crazy. So he's got a new team member. And he happened to be in the not so glamorous point of fixing a mistake that the photographer made. And it was a simple mistake. It's a mistake every photographer almost makes at one point or the other. And this is the second fix on one listing. So it's like a double whammy. And he's just like, oh, we all know it, right? It's like when bad things happen, you get that, that pit in your stomach.
Yep.
And he just gave a shout out. He just so happened to be listening to the podcast, I think, when he's driving 50 minutes away to fix this mistake for the second time, because the photographer didn't fix it correctly the first time or forgot something else. But it was cool to hear from, we all do it. It's all part of growth.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I happened to talk to Jacob in a coaching call a day or two ago. And the thing is, and then he actually had this perspective. He's like, I might be training my photographer who's going to train all of my photographers in the future. So, it's while you're training your photographer, the first one is definitely the hardest one to do because you don't have any structure. You've never done it before. And a lot of the things that you do, it's just second nature, right? Craig, think of how many things you do a day that you're like, hey, I don't even think about taking these photos or video.
And when you're training somebody, you got to slow down and think through all those things that you've gotten to the point in your career that you take for granted.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you don't have any time. Your brain, your left brain is telling you don't have any time to slow down, right?
Right.
So then when you have to fix mistakes for your photographer, it's like, oh, why'd I do this? And it's like, no, wait a minute. This is for good. Like this individual might actually be doing my job in 3 years. And so pour into your people. When mistakes happen, celebrate them. We call them wearing a badge of failure. And, learn from the mistakes. But Jacob, thanks for that message in.
Absolutely. All right. A comment from Adrian in Atlanta as well.
Yes. Adrian, thank you for your detective work. You noticed that somehow the stat counter on the bottom of the property websites was hidden or went away. We got it back online very quickly, but thank you for noticing that. That is now back down there. That's on the websites that display all your media. It shows how many times the page has been visited. So if your agent is curious, they can go and look at that. So Adrian, thanks for that detective work.
Yeah, for sure. Can I relate a quick story to response time on fixing mistakes? So we jumped right on that mistake that Adrian very kindly pointed out. I did a presentation this week, Todd, for a team that we shoot for in my market. And the rest of the team doesn't do a ton of listings. So the head realtor was just giving a testimony of the great experience that they've had with us, with Wow Video Tours. And she said, we've used them for about 3 years. And Craig, I think we had one issue and they jumped on it and got it addressed super quick. The ability to respond quickly to client concerns, critically important. And she just sang our praises about how good we are and blah, blah. And I kind of almost had to backtrack her a little bit and say, we do make mistakes. And some of those mistakes will take longer to respond to than others, but we do our best. I like to be transparent with clients. And yes, we always aim for excellence and we aim for perfection, but we're human beings, right? So just do your best in addressing the mistakes that you do make and give your best effort to respond to those in a timely manner. And most people will give that grace and appreciate that you're trying to take care of them. So she bragged on us, made us sound like we were almost perfect. And I'm like, okay, let's dial it back just a little bit. No, we do our best. But and then thanked her for the very generous amount of praise she was giving our team. But you make the effort and people will appreciate that.
Yeah. And isn't it just so crazy, Craig, how you take a mistake, a problem, let's call it, it's a problem. And how, when a realtor says one thing about you, they talk about how great you were with that mistake. I mean, that's just, it's almost like reverse psychology. Cause it's like, wait a minute, it was bad, but now you think more highly of me because of the way, we were able to fix the situation.
Right.
So, I kind of have a rule here that when we make these mistakes, and again, I call them gaps, when we have gaps in business and errors happen, I think you should be overreactive to fixing the mistake. Now, there's a difference here. You shouldn't be overreactive for continuing to bring it up and apologize. I think it's okay to apologize and take full responsibility for the mistake, but the way you remedy the mistake should be way over and above what anybody would imagine. So, for me, we had a client calling this week, and I actually haven't talked to a Wow client for a lot of years. We have a fabulous team at Wow. They take care of it. This is a realtor. This is a realtor that I used to shoot for. So she's been with us for over a decade, and I know her quite well. Now, I haven't talked to her for a long time, but I had a good relationship with her. And I heard that we screwed something up and she was not too happy. And I was like, oh, I'll call her. And, I just so happened to be meeting with Jess at the time. And And Brittany came and was like, hey, we kind of got this thing going right now. This is what I'm doing. And Brittany came in with a solution, which was great. It's fabulous when your employees come with a solution. And it's just where I, as the owner, offer, I'm like, hey, I know her very well. I'll call her. And, Brittany kind of looked at me like, you actually do work here? And I was like, and then she's like, okay, yeah, if you'll call her. And I strategically do this every once in a while. I think it is important that you sometimes, as the owner, just do the work. I did that purposefully. I had full trust that Brittany's solution was going to fix it and that Jess would step in. But I haven't done this in a very long time. And I wanted to be like, hey, I got you guys. I know her. I've got the easy button and you won't have to worry about this when I'm done with it. So I strategically did that. Don't always do that, because there was many years that I always did that. And you know what I did? You know what happened? I got a long list of work that I was supposed to do from all my employees. And I was doing their work and I just could do it really well. And I was their easy button. So you don't want to do this a whole lot, but you want to be strategic with when you offer the work that you do. So I called this agent, apologized. I got the backstory from the team, which is great. I knew everything that was going on. I knew the client happened to be sick as well. And I apologized. I connected with her. And a lot of times I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, Lisa, that we caused this. I know how busy you are. And I know you were sick too. And she's like, oh, I've been sick. It's okay. And so long story short, Craig, because this isn't the topic of the podcast today, but we had already comped that shoot. Brittany just did that proactively. And we do that to make sure that they understand we are sorry and we want them to be happy. I made that clear. Lisa was thankful for that. But then I was like, hey, I looked up, she had a shoot on the books coming up. I comped that sucker to her. I comped the drone and I comped the community photos. And I'm like, hey, this one's on me. Like, I've already zeroed all those out. I'm like, I'm so sorry that, this is on us. We don't want to cause, issues. We're sorry that we were a point of frustration. But Lisa, I want you to be happy. And I say those things. That's verbiage that I typically use with an unhappy client. I want you to be happy. And it's kind of interesting how saying those feelings might seem weird to you, but when you say them, it's almost like this magical thing where, like, what's Lisa going to say? Like, no, Todd, I don't want you to be, I don't want, I don't want me to be happy. Yeah, I don't want to be happy. Like,
I want to be mad at you.
Yeah.
You're making it too hard.
So by the end of the conversation, she was literally thanking me for the over 10 years. And she was talking about how great the team was. Awesome. And it's just how you can just flip something on its head, just go over and above above and beyond. I'll get it there, y'all. Above and beyond with how you handle a bad situation, and you can have a client for life. And then also, as the flip side of this, and I'll stop talking, Craig. You all know I can talk, but then going back to the team and letting them know it was handled. Letting them know if there was no follow-up in this, but just letting them know everything that happened. I put notes in Spiro so that it was logged and all that good stuff. But just how you can close those loops of communication and how sometimes you can very strategically take work off of your employee's plate and it builds their trust with you. And even more, it takes one thing that was difficult off their plate. This was an easy call for me. Honestly, I kind of enjoyed the call. I really like her. I enjoy doing this, but it was great to go back then to Brittany and be like, hey, you're good. You don't have to worry about this. She's over the moon. She actually was very thankful for the way that you worked and you helped the situation. So do that strategically. Don't make it a habit of always taking their work, because now you've taken their job description.
Awesome. Well, that's some more input on how to handle mistakes and make the best of them.
Yeah, that was just a bonus for today. So hopefully there was something in there for y'all to use. Craig, we got to switch in here quickly. Yeah. We got a book winner, Craig.
Yeah. The winner of the John Maxwell, here, let me get it more on camera. The Developing the Leader Within You version 2.0. Congratulations to Phil, an international listener over there in Scotland. Hey, Phil, congratulations. We will get this book to you.
Yeah,
But
Phil's a good friend of Spiro. We've known him for a long time, so
yeah,
we're gonna
awesome.
put this one on a boat and get it over to you, Phil.
Do I have to paddle the boat? I don't have to do that part, do I?
Wait, well, maybe we could do a 2-man boat and go for some record, Craig.
You know what's funny is I would like to go to Scotland. My Instagram feed, I've had photos of Scotland like showing up. I must have clicked on one, and now of course the algorithm now just feeds, and that's like, man, I kind of want to go to Scotland now.
Craig, what if you hand delivered the book to Phil?
Will the company pay for that? I'll do that in a heartbeat, Todd. I will do that. If you'll send me over, I will hand deliver this to Phil.
My brother works for American. I maybe get you a buddy pass over there.
Hey, you know what? We're totally going off the rails here. So another reason I would love to go to Scotland, all of my life, my mom said that we had Irish heritage, right? I had some Irish blood in me.
Okay.
So we did one of those ancestry DNA type tests.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it came back. I really didn't have really any Irish blood in me at all. But I had Scottish blood.
Scottish.
I'm part Scottish. So
okay.
I would love to go to Scotland.
Let me talk to my brother, get you a buddy ticket over there.
You heard it, Phil. You're my witness. All right. So Phil, congratulations. We'll get that book off to you. Now it might take a month on the slow boat to Scotland, but
yeah,
we'll get something to you here. Awesome. I don't have a book to give away this week. I totally forgot to check my shelf this morning, but we'll get back on that. So
yeah,
stay tuned.
That was a great idea. Craig, if someone has a question or someone has some input, what's the best way for them to get a hold of us?
Yeah, so just drop us an email, hello@spiro.media. We answer those as fast as we can.
Yeah, and you all can, like, if you want to talk to Craig, want to talk to me, say, hey, just send this to Craig, send this to Todd. The team will tag us in that. It will get to us, and then we'll be able to respond from that point.
Yep, absolutely. Cool. All right, so thank you to all of you giving us feedback and asking questions, and we love hearing from you. It makes this podcast fun, just the community that's built. So we appreciate you guys. Just a couple of big guys here in the cornfields of Northwest Ohio.
For sure.
Hopefully sharing some things with you that are helping you build strong businesses. All right. Speaking of building strong business and technology that impacts our business, Todd, let's get back to the AI photo editing. A lot of chatter going on about this and how it's going to affect our business, how it's going to affect our editors. I don't even really know where to start with this. So you want to kind of kick things off here?
Yeah. So I'd love to. And, this is something we've been looking at for many years now, like I mentioned, and AI is impacting us everywhere, right, Craig? I mean, it's, specifically with us, we're discussing the editing portion of it today, but AI is pretty prevalent even in our industry there's virtual staging by AI. There are property descriptions, lots of stuff that's happening. Many of you write emails and newsletters and all that stuff. There's many ways. I'm no master of AI. I have some things that I typically use it for, but it's impacting the world and how we do things. And I truly see it as no different than a tool. It's a tool just like, I use the analogy of a calculator. It's no different than when calculators were created. It's going to allow you to work more efficiently. But what it's going to do is it's going to disrupt some industries. And and there's always good and bad with disruption. Change is not usually ever easy, but change is good. And I think change is needed for growth and for progress. But when you have change, you just need to be aware of some of the people that might be negatively impacted by the change. So like I mentioned, we are finalized with the solution. AI honestly hasn't been there for photo editing up until this point. We've looked at them. We've really hoped. We've like, this has some promise, but just haven't felt really good about pushing our jobs at Wow Video Tours through it. And we do now. We really do.
So let me ask you then, what has precipitated that change? What's made you decide, okay, it's ready now for us to for us to use? What's the difference been?
The quality in the final image. And this is kind of interesting, Craig, as to where this individual, the owner of this company, he also owns a real estate media company. He's a Spiro user, met him in Vegas, fantastic individual. And I'm like, well, how did you get this figured out? I mean, this individual's just incredibly smart as well. And he's got, his degrees in machine learning. But his insight to the industry, because he's an owner of a real estate media company, is really what gave him the upper hand to understanding the way that the language needed to be written and how it needed to learn, which is kind of cool because it kind of correlates with our story here at Spiro, because we feel as though our unique advantage with Spiro is the fact that we just don't create software. We are a real estate media company. We do 12,000 plus jobs a year. We do it at a very large level. That's what allows us to truly understand what a real estate photographer needs. So I thought it was just kind of neat how our stories connected with that. And his advantage was the fact that he really knows what you need because he's got the same clients as you.
Maybe not the same clients, but maybe.
But exactly. Yeah. He knows the brain of a realtor and what they expect.
Right. Exactly. So if somebody wanted to start to implement this in their process, this company that we're starting this relationship with, is it accessible through Spiro? How does that work?
It is, yes. And we're excited. We're the first to integrate it. And what you can do is you can go to settings, integrations, click on external editors, and you can add it all there. So it's free to sign up. Just click the button in there because it will connect everything. Okay. And the neat thing is the way we're building out this process, and this will probably be done by the time you listen to this, but you'll be able to connect the account. But what we're also going to do is we're going to automatically create a task for you that's assigned to the AI. And then you can tell us what services need photo editing. So many of you come to us and you say, hey, I'm ready to streamline my task and workflows. And that is the most complicated, but the most powerful part in the system. And you can build those things. And we have the Spiro Academy. We have knowledge-based guides. We can help you in chat. But this is the first time that we can just do it for you. So you won't have to worry about creating the task. You won't have to worry about creating the editor. Just click the button in Spiro. And when you do it in Spiro, it will connect all of that for you. And we're going to streamline the process. You'll need to integrate Dropbox. You'll find more information inside of Spiro about how to do this, but we are giving you all the easy button so that you can queue this up and you don't have to worry about going through the guides, hitting the Spiro Academy, the pink chat bubble. It's literally just going to be done for you.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So we're excited about that.
Cool.
So Craig, the impact of this, how is this? Let's talk about just the impact of AI. What's this going to mean to our clients? Think of your clients. How is this going to impact them? I know you were supposed to ask me this question. I'm kind of throwing you for a hook, but think of AI. 30-minute turnaround. The quality is better. The quality is better than what we are sending to our clients right now.
Going to make them happy.
And we are going to save money on the cost of goods.
I mean, that's a win-win all around, right? Might even, depending on your setup, might enable you to do same-day delivery. If we're getting the photos back in a half hour, if we have a way of uploading those, that shoot out in the field, which can be a challenge. Imagine the turnaround and response time that you'll be able to offer your clients, again, if you have that ability to upload on the fly.
Yeah. Pretty cool. You think about if you're in most major cities and most not even super major cities have a good 5G connection, just tether, pull, import from your card and get it to the Dropbox folder. Complete the shoot. The Dropbox folder happens automatically. Just drag those things into Dropbox and let it sync. You could leave it open on your seat beside you when you're driving to the next job. And as long as you got a good data connection going up, those things could be uploaded. And literally by the end of the next job, they could be done.
That's crazy. Just to think about that.
I'm still kind of in between on that, Craig, as that is a cool feature, but I'm trying to think, and you all comment in below, leave us a comment. Like, what are your thoughts on that? That is, so I'm trying to think of the brain of a realtor right now. We know when a realtor has not planned very well and they need it last minute, or maybe they've planned well and just something has come onto their doorstep. I don't want to assume realtors don't plan well when they need it today or tomorrow. This will help them. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of our clients, though, Craig, and correct me if I'm wrong, but as we become part of their process, they understand our turnaround time, and then they're beginning to listing launch date is Wednesday, which means I need to have WOW out there on Friday or Monday. So I have a day or two to look at everything and load it to the system. I don't know. Maybe does this just give them an excuse to wait a little bit longer, same day turnaround?
I mean, you could approach it where you don't necessarily advertise that you can turn things around that quick, but you've got the ability if they need it. Let's see, I've shot since 2017. I think I can count on one hand how many times I've been asked, hey, can I get these today? And unfortunately, I've had to tell them in the past, unfortunately, we can't do that. I'm back to back with shoots all day. Our editing team would have to drop everything they're doing. Everything comes to a grinding halt when you're trying to turn things around the same day because of other systems that you have in place to make your business efficient. So maybe it's just a backup that in case somebody does, something does fall through the cracks and your realtor really needs something, you say, hey, I've got you covered. Yeah, I'll take care of this.
That's a good point. What about an upsell?
Oh yeah. You could charge through the nose for that. Say, yeah, we can do that. It's $100 add-on.
Yeah.
And I think most people would understand if you're dropping everything you're doing to deliver same day. I think most people understand there's a premium for that.
So, I would agree with you. Craig, can I take a technical tangent real quick?
Please do.
So I don't know, I just made that as a TT. I don't know, Justin, can we get some theme songs right now for my technical tangent? This is terrible. Justine, we should probably delete all that, but leave it in there.
The corniness of the two guys from the cornfield scene.
There you go, Craig.
Northwest Ohio.
You do intend your puns. I know you all out there love really large file sizes. I know you love raw file sizes. Can I just please plead with you to stop shooting so big? I can tell you we've tested this AI with RAW and with JPEG images. The JPEGs are actually better.
Really?
Yes. Yes. 3 brackets, 5 brackets. Just make sure that in your darkest you have all of the information in the windows so you contain that information if you're bracketing 3. But at WOW, we bracket 5, so we take everything. We shoot JPEG. We shoot small JPEG. Fine, small JPEG is what we shoot. Literally, I'm not kidding you. We shoot 600,000 or 700,000 images a year at small, fine JPEG. I know you guys love to shoot huge megapixels and RAW, and your RAW images are 40, 60, 100 megabytes each. Please don't do that, especially because if you want to upload in the field, like our individual small, fine JPEGs are 3 or 4 megabytes, right, Craig?
Yeah, something like that.
And some of the outside, I mean, depending the color variants, but they're small, and that's good enough.
They're looking at these things on their computer screen. It's not like they're doing blow up prints,
or their phone.
Yeah.
That's even smaller.
Right. It's good enough.
That's just my plea for you all. Please just start shooting JPEG. Shoot small JPEG. Many of you that are like, hey, I'm full size RAW. You're probably twitching right now when you hear me say shoot small JPEG. But I'm telling you what, it's the better way to go. The quality is just as good, if not, it's actually better. It is less files that you have to sling around. And it actually means that your turnaround time is going to be quicker because your upload is going to be faster.
Right.
So that's my technical tangent, Craig.
So we've talked about impact of AI editing on our clients. What about on our editors?
This is a tough one. So Craig, so many of you know Creo. I own a portion of that company. We started that company for WOW, and I love the owners. I know the owners. I've gotten to know them very well. One of them lived over in the States for a while and worked over here, helped start a church. And so I really like these individuals that run Creo. And plus I have vested interest in the company. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Now what are you doing here, Todd? Like you're going to send it to the AI, but then what does that do for Creo? Like you're kind of just.
Full disclosure, those of you watching this is a question I had when Todd started talking about this. I'm like, wait a minute, what's this mean for Creo?
Yeah.
So I'm interested here.
So what it means is that it means that we might do a pivot, or we're looking at doing a pivot. And you have fabulous individuals with your editing company. Like I love Lobden and Shen and all the editors at Creo. And if you're not using Creo, this is not a plea to use Creo. This is just the fact of insert your editor's name in there. These are vendors that you use. And I think sometimes because there's a language and a cultural barrier and they're not in your neighborhood, that we think we can treat them differently. And I know that I'm generalizing here, and I think all of you are fabulous people out there, but I know there is kind of this like, oh, what were they thinking? You know? It's like, well, wait a minute, Todd, maybe they didn't really understand because they don't really speak English as a first language, or there's a cultural difference. So let's try to connect with them. And these are people that have worked really hard for us. I think about Creo. They started the company. They prioritize us. They give us what we need. They've grown with us. They accommodate our needs. And we have a relationship with them, as many of you do with your realtors or with your editors, excuse me. So what I did, and this is just full transparency, what I did is I let him know, Lobden and Shen know. As I kind of sensed this was coming, I was like, hey, this is what I'm seeing in the industry, and this is what I think it's going to go to. And I think it's going to go sooner rather than later. So I didn't know what it meant yet. I hadn't committed to endorsing this AI editing, but I just wanted to be transparent that something might be happening. Right. I can't go to sleep knowing that, could I hide it and could I just say, hey, sorry guys, we've got to shut it down and cut my losses? I could have done that. I just don't feel good doing that. Right. Because these are people that have trusted me and that have given us what we needed and been good partners. So we looked at who we had there, and we looked at what a good pivot would be and what needs were in the industry. You're still always going to have the need of a virtual assistant. You're going to have people that need to look at these images. While the AI is great, it's going to make mistakes.
It is.
Just like your human editors do right now. And there are tasks every day that you all are doing, and myself as well, that you or I should not be doing. We need to backfill ourselves, train individuals to do some of the low-level tasks that we do so that we can be the business owner. So we started having those discussions, Craig, where is there a need at? Well, Creo has this fabulous high school that one of the Creo owners, Lobden, he actually runs. He's the head of this high school. We would call this individual probably the superintendent in the States here as kind of an equivalent job description. And they have these vibrant youth coming through the school. And it's a beautiful building, by the way. They built this beautiful building. And we looked at how we could use not only some of our current editors at Creo, but how could we use some of these great, vibrant youth and these individuals coming through that speak really, really good English, y'all, like good English. Like not super accented English, good English. They understand the American culture. Kosovo, just as a nation, they really like America. America's done a lot to help them. They're a fairly new country. So it's a great relationship. So we looked at how could we begin to utilize some of those individuals and the people coming through the school to serve more real estate photographers as virtual assistants. We have two individuals on our team at WOW, Besa and Tina. They live in Kosovo. They've gone through this school. They are incredible to our team. They talk to our clients. Our clients love them. Our team loves them. They are a big part of our team.
Absolutely.
And so that's just where we took that discussion. So what I'm kind of pitching to you is that if you have a vendor that you really like, you have some needs that they might be able to fulfill. And through some of those discussions, you might be able to get to a win-win for everyone, where you can take a pivot here and you're actually going to be further ahead in the end. You're going to allow them to pivot in their business. You're going to get rid of some of these low-level tasks you've been doing. And everybody has growth in the end.
So what's the impact then on you as the owner? We've talked about the impact on clients. We've talked about the impact on our editors.
Mm-hmm.
What's the kind of final summary then as the impact on you as the owner in AI photo editing?
Yeah. So us all as real estate photography business owners, is that correct, Craig?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So the impact for all of us, all you out there listening as a real estate photography business owner, I think somewhat you have to embrace technology, but you have to be careful and you have to be cognizant of people that have helped you get to where you're at.
Right.
And it all starts with transparency. It starts with just saying it. And you don't always have to know the answer. I didn't really know the answer when I talked with Lobden. I just said, hey, this is what I think's coming. We might need to, I don't know what the solution is, but I want you guys to know because I want you to be okay. And as we talked, we came up with pivots. And actually, this is something that they're even more excited about. Creo's even more excited about bringing these youth through, training the current editors to be virtual assistants, to be that admin on your team. So it's just so fabulous when you can take something, and this wasn't a me thing, this was just the way it worked out, that you can take something bad and you find this win-win where the other person goes, oh, I would much rather do this. It's like, how did that happen? That's so great. So I think you have to be transparent. You have to plan for it. From an owner's perspective, also think of what your features and benefits are of AI. Are you going to announce it as AI? I don't know. This is interesting, Craig. Let me ask you this question. If we announce to our realtors that we now have this fabulous AI editing where you're going to get your photos quicker, maybe we can, maybe we can't, because we still want to look at them. It's going to be better quality. I mean, we're not going to tell them that it's cheaper for us, right?
That's what I was thinking. I don't want to undercut ourselves. Yeah.
But what are our realtors going to think when we say use AI?
I don't know that. Do we need to tell the client that we're using AI? I'm just being honest in my question of that. Ultimately, I don't know that the client would actually care as long as the quality is there and they see that we're implementing measures to continue to serve them well, give them excellent quality media that benefits their business. Does the realtor need to know or care to know that what our process is? I don't talk about that we have overseas editors to them. I just talk about our editing team.
Yeah. I agree with you, Craig. I don't think that's kind of in the weeds for them. I think that's a great reminder that like we have technical brains, but they don't. And that's just giving them too much. And then they don't know what to do with that information. They're like, well, what does this even mean? Like, I just want my photos back.
Yeah.
So I can upload them to the MLS.
Right.
So I think you're right on that, Craig. I think you can just talk about the features and the benefits. And I know we at WOW, we're going to look at the images as well. We're going to quality check them. We always quality check. So, I mean, they still are somewhat vetted by the team and we have our eye and our quality on them. So I agree with you, Craig. I think that's smart.
So, technology is going to continue to double and, just what's the word I'm looking for? Exponentially increase.
Yeah.
So what's there's a stat out there about how fast technology is developing. It's like every 18 months, like processing speeds double or it's something like that. Somebody knows.
Yeah.
That's not going to slow down.
No, it's not. And it's probably even going to go just even faster because now technology is kind of creating its own technology. That's kind of weird. Like, what do you do?
Skynet.
Yeah.
Skynet. I'm going to be completely honest, Todd, as a almost 49-year-old, I'm starting to feel my age a little bit because I'm looking at AI, and yes, I'm seeing all the things it does, and I'm gonna admit I've been very hesitant with it. Like I still really, I've got an iPhone 15, and now we've got this Apple Intelligence.
Yes.
I'm not really using it. It's like I don't want to use AI to write my emails because I feel like I'm losing control a little bit. And my whole thing is developing relationships with people. I want it to be my voice, not AI's voice. And maybe AI can duplicate my voice. I don't know. I feel like the old guy in the room, like, I'm not going to do
oh, that's tough. Back in my day, we used to have to actually talk on the radio.
Right.
Craig, you know what the funny thing is I'm not even real right now. You've been talking to AI this whole time. This is just an AI generated Todd.
I'm done. I'm done with this.
No, I'm just kidding. You guys all know I'm kidding, but no, this is the real me.
Right. Would AI have humor as corny as our humor?
Hopefully it can improve my humor and my suggestions I give you all. So I don't know, maybe just generate an AI, Todd. You'll be better off.
Yeah. Well, all that being said, as a business owner and leader, work to make technology work for you and those that you're working with. Keep relationships central to what you're doing. And that whole idea of transparency and the discussion of how technology impacts your business and your business relationships, I think we got to remember we're human beings, right? Mm-hmm. And treat each other as humans, treat each other with respect, and just be honest with people as you're making business decisions that will help your business and serve your clients well also.
Agreed.
I don't know what else to really say. So.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the over resounding message, and the message that will always hold true in any situation you're in.
Yeah. Yep.
So just a reminder, if you want to try out the AI. By no means are you obligated to try it, but we're using it. We think it's a great upgrade. And click either the banners. We'll have banners in Spiro for you, or go to your settings, integrations, external editors, and you can click to add it there. Click to add it. You can upload into it. You can see what it does for free. You don't have to pay to see the results. You can see the results for free and compare them. Just do the due diligence for your business. And if you want it streamlined in Spiro, it's a one-click button. We'll help you do that, so that if you do want to utilize it, it will be a complete oiled machine for you.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that's going to wrap things up this week. As always, we appreciate your time. We don't take that for granted, the fact that you're taking time to watch or listen, especially as spring market here in the Northern Hemisphere heats up. We really appreciate it. We're humbled by it. So you guys make sure you take some time to be thankful for the blessings in your life. And as Spiro means breath, make sure you take the time to take a breath. Have a great week.
Thank you for joining us for the Spiro Podcast, Managing Your Real Estate Photography and Videography Business. This is a production of Spiro and Wow Video Tours. You can find out more about Spiro's real estate media business management software at our website, spiro.media.